Jesse Odor and Degwa Njuru. Thank you for your time and staying with us. I'd like to hear your comments on what is happening at the Milimani law courts right now. The DCI and IG, I think they've sent representatives. They were summoned by the court to, of course, come in and explain the circumstances surrounding Miguna, who was granted bail on Friday, not being released. What is your take on all this?
First of all, we must decide as a country whether we want to follow the law or we want to be a country that thrives in anarchy. And that's a conversation that we must hold as a nation, not as affiliates of political parties. For one reason, a country that does not obey the law, that does not live in accordance with the creed of the Constitution, is a country that is inviting anarchy, as we are seeing. If there is going to be disobedience of the law, if one function disobeys the law, then we are ushering in a state of anarchy. If the IG has been summoned, it is the IG and not the representative. If the DCI director has been summoned, it is the DCI director who has been summoned and not a substitute. So, to me, it's a continuous and blatant violation of the law, disregard of the law, violation of the court orders, because there is no one who cares. All what we are doing, we are thriving in a state of impunity. That hata nikifanya hivi nitafanywa nini, nitapelekwa wapi, mwenzangu alipelekwa wapi, alifanywa nini. It's impunious. And we are setting a very bad precedent even for the future generation, not just us ourselves, but even the future generation. And we must start having that debate. Ask yourself, the seekers that I've seen in court today, Miguna is supposed to be presented in court today, and then somebody else prefers to open charges against him in Kajiado. What are seekers? What a drama.
So we're yet to confirm if that's indeed true. But
if it's not true, we do not actually know. The other question is, who has actually charged Miguna and the rest? Even to date, that thief who is being presented in court, that suspect is being presented in court at Makandara, at Kilimani, at Igeshogo, where I come from, and all over the country. Who is opening charges and preferring charges against that person in the absence of the DPP? Remember, the DPP resigned as a DPP. And the Constitution and the DPP Act is very clear that any other person who exercises the prosecutorial powers that have been vested on the DPP exercises them as a delegate. He has been delegated those powers by the DPP. So in the absence of the person who delegates, then there cannot be a delegation. That means all charges that have been preferred against any person, not just Miguna, but even that rapist, that murderer, that thief, that forceful obtainer, that traffic offender, cannot be a charge in law in the absence of the DPP.
Wow. Just your thoughts on this one. We're in such a mess.
No, we are in bad mess, by the way, Betty. Very bad mess. And at least Njuru is giving suspects who have cases in court free legal advice pro bono today. So at least they know that their cases are not going anywhere until the DPP is...
This is all cases?
This is all cases criminal.
Okay, criminal cases.
I mean, even the deputy DPP who is in court right now, who is prosecuting Miguna, knows this. So I don't know why he's even in court, even trying to... In fact, the person who drafted that charge sheet should actually be charged for not knowing what he's supposed to be doing. I mean, you cannot even do that when the office of the DPP is there. Even to the extent of MP for Arwaka TJ being charged for treason, and there is no DPP in office. I mean, it speaks volumes. This is a vindictive system that is going against the rights and the fundamental rights of Kenyans. And the highest level of impunity is now being displayed to Kenyans by the highest ranks of government, people who are supposed to protect the Constitution. I mean, a judge of the High Court summons you as an IG and DCI director to appear before him, and then you're already in contempt, but you further send your representative and not go there in person. And you're within the jurisdiction of the court. If you're outside the country, we will forgive you. But you are here, and then you send somebody to go and represent you. I mean, what more do you want to show Kenyans that the law can be suspended at will? Then what happens next time if the opposition now calls for mass protest and the whole country goes into anarchy? What will the government now say? You can't disobey court orders and expect the other protagonist to obey the court orders.
So okay. It's such a messy situation. I don't even, it worries me, even as a Kenyan, and I'm sure very many Kenyans would be worried. So is there a way out? And also I'd like you to comment on the fact that, and even if you heard that resident in Bungoma who was saying that he's applauding the courts for, standing their ground, even when it is against, the government. What is your take? So where do we head from here? Is there another way out?
We are heading into a situation whereby we must have a national debate on what kind of a country do we want to live in, what are the agreed set of rules that we want to be bound with or by. For one reason, if this country has to survive as a nation, it needs a nation is tested its viability in times of tribulations and times of difficulties like now. And one of the things that makes a country survive such kind of turmoils is the institutions and the laws that the country has put into place. And the ability of the country and the willingness of the country and the readiness of the country to observe those rules as being sacrosanct, as being sanctity, as being the basis upon which they want to lay their democratic foundation on. So in the absence of that, then we are inviting anarchy. For one reason, in the absence, and I want to give an example that I've just spoken about, the absence of the DPP. When there is a vacancy in the office of the DPP, there is no magistrate, there is no judge of the High Court who should, at any given time, entertain a charge. Because that charge which is being entertained, be it a murder charge, be it a rape charge, be it a sexual offences charge, be it a charge of treason, be it a charge of theft, be it a traffic charge, whichever charge it may be, a court that entertains a charge of that nature is a court that is perpetuating the grievous violation of the law. Yet the court itself is a fountain of the law, is a fountain of justice, is a sanctuary of justice. So, to me, I think even the argument I should be getting from those courts is there is nobody who is capable of charging Miguna at the moment. That's the argument I want to hear Dr. Kamino give. It's the argument I want to hear someone like Harun Dumbi propagating. It's the argument I want to hear Amolo propagating. And it's the argument I also want to hear the lawyer representing an accused person in Geshogo, in Kirinyaga, in Kakamega, wherever you are, advancing.
Okay.
Because a vacancy was created in the office of the DPP to serve a political purpose. So, Kenyans are held at ransom because of satisfying political ego and urge.
Well, Jesse, let's have your final thoughts on this one.
I think we need to reflect as Kenyans and hold our leaders to account. I mean, we've been quiet for far too long when wrong things are happening to this country, especially defying of court orders. If there's only one institution that, at the end of the day, holds this country together, is the judiciary. So we water down that as the way we have watered all others with political appointments.
Yeah.
I mean, other position as institution, it's about political rewards. I mean, we get political rejects and give them positions. In fact, the other day, I mean, the president, a creature not known to law, cabinet administrative secretary, what is that? And we are quiet here, and it becomes a norm. So when the likes of IG and DCI defy court orders, we have to tell them, no, you have to respect our constitution.
All right.
It is not personal, but you have to respect our laws. Okay. Because, I mean, personalities come and go. By the end of the day, institutions have to remain, and the law must be upheld.
Must be upheld. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time. And let's just hope that things will get better somehow.
I think we hope, but then we also have to now take it. We have to work on it and actualize the hope.
There's a Christian song that goes, stand up for Jesus. So I think now it should be stand up for the Kenya.
For Kenya.
Yes.
All right. Right, Ndegwa Njiru and Jesse Odro, they're speaking to us with regard to this very stingy issue, which is to do with the contempt of court. And we'll want to cross over right now to the Milimani law courts and just continue to listen in on what's happening right now.
All detained until further orders of this court, mentioned on 13th February 2018 at 9 a.m. for further orders. You are welcome. Okay. Now you can leave my court as I deal with these other cases. Or let me adjourn shortly so that the court can be rearranged.
All right, so we missed out on that, on the direction that the judge was giving there, but we'll get it in the next couple of minutes. We'll take a short commercial break, and we're coming back to continue with our coverage here on News Center.